I've made money online in some pretty weird ways. And no, I didn't start with dropshipping or crypto, but I'm not gonna lie, I did try dropshipping when I was a lot younger. It didn't really work out for me, but that's a story for another time. Crypto also wasn't really that big at that time. But basically, here's how I went from editing Roblox videos for a company to building multiple businesses and income streams that quietly pay me every single month. I'm not here to waste your time, and I'm honestly not even here to tell you about ways you can build this massive empire of a business, because I feel like for a lot of beginners, that isn't very tangible. And I say this because I myself experienced something similar. You can't just go up to someone and say, oh, start dropshipping. Oh, start doing this. Build a conglomerate business in this field, because that's not really a first step at all. That's probably a middle step, if anything, a long-term step that you have to slowly build towards. So a lot more tangible of a thing is usually freelance work. I love this stuff because this is how I made my first bit of money. And I was just like you guys, assuming you are in that position. I used to go online and search up how do I make money online. And it would give me some random stuff like script writing. It would tell me to sign up for survey websites and all these random little things. And sure, they make you a bit of money, but it's very little money. It's not money that'll make you rich. It really is just money that'll give you a few extra bucks by the end of the month. And so I really came to dislike these methods, but at the time when I was a kid, when I was a teenager at 16 years old, sure, these were really viable money making methods. But nowadays, it's not a lot, especially with inflation and all this other stuff. So I really do think freelancing is the way to go. Find a skill that you really like or you want to learn for fun and capitalize on it. So this does have a little bit of bias, but one of the earliest ways I've ever made money was trying to create a YouTube channel. And trying to create a YouTube channel, I had to learn all these skills that I didn't even know it was monetizable until someone came up to me with the offer to edit Roblox videos for a company. So this was one of my earliest ways of making money. And how it literally started was my love for content creation led me to finding this perfect opportunity. Now I know this isn't very replicatable, but there are other websites such as Fiverr or Upwork where you can actually get them coming to you. This is a perfect way to land your first gig. But luckily for me, I did have that gig really early on, and that's exactly how I landed it, by just meeting other content creators. What this gig taught me was how to meet deadlines and how to match someone else's style, and also why it made everything else easier moving forward. Those paychecks felt like $1,000,000 at the time, but it showed me that the internet has real potential to making me rich. That's all that I needed to keep on going. Turning passion into pay was probably one of the biggest changes for me. So this is a bit more catered to a midpoint, but content creation is free. There is no barrier to entry besides skills. So basically, my passion for video creation kind of dwindled during the time I was making Roblox content, and I realized I wasn't very fulfilled. And this unfulfillment basically led me to wanting to do content creation on my own. If I can make videos for this company and the company thinks I'm worth money, why don't I make my own YouTube channel and prove to myself that I'm worth way more? And so that's exactly what I did. I began to start my own YouTube channel. And so this led to a very, very long journey, which I could have shortened if I just kept learning and really putting my 100% in, which I did struggle with at that time. But this led me to making monetized YouTube videos, doing sponsorships, affiliate links, and even clipping. Some of my videos still make money to this day, though I haven't really touched them in months. In a way, it's no different to you investing into stocks and getting dividend income from it, because these videos of mine basically make me dividends for the rest of my life. I think quiet freelance work really does play a big role in this. I know one of the more modern versions of this is clipping, as I mentioned before. This is something that has exploded in popularity using websites like WAP. I really think you guys should be on that. And if I was starting off, that's exactly where I would be. These sort of projects you pick up here and there, thumbnails, scripts, editing templates, they go a long way and they snowball because you are skill stacking, which is probably one of the biggest things you can have as a freelancer. If you're able to do a bunch of stuff, you're versatile and you're able to pick up basically whatever the client needs. And if you need locations to find maybe higher paying clients, Try places like Twitter and Discord through just friends of friends. Because there, sometimes people are willing to pay, but they don't know where to look. Don't be a freelancer, be a solution to someone else's problem. A tip to this is also be a solution to a business owner's problem, because business owners are the ones with actual cash flow and money to spend on you rather than the everyday person. I also think you should figure out what you're really good at, because then you can niche down into that one skill and be amazing at it. Because if you just put in the work that other people really don't want to put in because everyone's lazy nowadays, you'll be ahead of 95% of people with ease. Another thing that I want to talk about is doing this sort of digital method of getting paid. And essentially, I like to call it digital real estate, but it's money that's made while you sleep. Now, YouTube is a form of digital real estate, as once you post it, you make money while you're literally sleeping. But another form of digital asset that I don't see talked about a lot is videos, PDFs, scripts, and ranking content. There are so many other methods on doing so. The method that I ended up using is YouTube, so that's the one I could speak on experience. But I have friends doing the PDF method, and I've even got targeted by some people on TikTok selling PDFs and seeing them in action because they thought I would have bought some from them. Another very popular one is Notion templates, simply because with Notion templates, you are selling to business owners that need organization, or they just need systems in place to track things. So in that case, you really are selling to business owners, and this could make you a substantial amount of money. Passive income, but be realistic, is probably one of the most things talked about, especially in the last few years. Everyone's talking about passive income, dividends, this, that. Basically, vehicles that pay you quietly. So this could be affiliate programs, whether it's Notion, Canva, Gumroad. One I had myself before was Epidemic Sounds. Every creator from my main YouTube channel that signed up for that, I got a percentage of. It could be referral links, even templates or digital downloads. The point is, these aren't flashy, but they do stack up over time, especially if you could sell it to people and you have a good product market fit. But remember, be realistic. This isn't going to get you to $1 million, but it will get you to a decent footing, and it will build up as you build yourself up. So I want to end this off with giving a bit of a reality check. None of these are going to be super easy. They will push you out of your comfort zone, but I think that's the point. I think you have to learn how to get yourself out of that comfort zone by doing some of these. And even if you don't do it well, eventually, if you keep hacking at it, something will arise. What didn't work, at least for me, when chasing these money-making methods, was chasing hype, okay? Expecting that I'd get rich instantly. For example, one thing I got into was day trading. Now, day trading isn't for me, y'all, but I saw so many people making so much money really fast on their phones, and I got hooked. I wanted to be one of those people. I wanted to look cool and, have a lot of money when I was young, and so I fell for this. But honestly, what would be much better is repeatable processes, building skills, doing the work that people call boring, and staying consistent at it. Because your goal isn't to impress anybody. Your goal is to make it out of this rat race, to quit your 9 to 5 and have enough money to fuel your life, to fuel whatever interests you. And so if that sounds like a beautiful life to you, then it is something you're aiming towards. This is your blueprint. Honestly, it's not very hard. All of these are very accessible to the everyday person, and part of it is chance-based. And to that point, I would like to mention, this actually comes from an anime. So I don't know if y'all be watching or are into anime, but Blue Lock, it is a really good anime. But basically, it's a soccer anime that talks about luck, okay? Luck is, in fact, a factor in a lot of these sports. But luck gravitates towards its own trajectory, but you can get in the way of luck as long as you put in the work before luck even arrives. So the moment you start putting in the reps, you start posting videos, you start working on your business, by getting clients, luck will come find you as long as you're putting in those reps. I genuinely believe this because so many of the opportunities that I had, it wouldn't have come up to me if I didn't have luck, but it also I wouldn't have even been able to see the trajectory of luck if I didn't do the reps on days where I had no luck at all. So, my takeaways are basically just take action. All of these work. It doesn't matter what money method you decide to do. They all work. They all could get you to your destination. And if they don't take you to a mill, they'll take you somewhere closer to a mill than you were yesterday. And that's all that matters. But yeah, honestly, comment how you guys are feeling about this sort of stuff. And if you guys found some interesting ways to make money, I'm sure other people would love to see what other methods there are and what other options there are. And if you enjoyed this, feel free to subscribe. I'm trying to build this up maybe to 1,000 subscribers. That's my goal, maybe for the end of the year. And honestly, hope you guys have a good one.